coming out today. It's certainly a very, very sad day for the state of Oklahoma, a very hard day, a tragic day of tremendous disaster that has hit this community of Moore and other areas of the state, beginning yesterday with the terrible storms that passed through so many different areas, and certainly today with the accumulation of this big tornado that hit along the same path of the May 3rd tornado in 1999. It's just hard to believe that something like this could happen again to Moore itself. And I just want to say, first of all, that our prayers and our thoughts are with the Oklahoma families that have been hit hard by this terrible storm these last 2 days. And in particular, our hearts are just broken for the parents that are wondering the state of their children that have been in the schools that have been hit today, and certainly the other businesses and facilities that have been hit hard. I know that there are families wondering where their loved ones are, and right now we're doing everything we can as a state to get as much emergency personnel, state agencies, all the different charities that are out doing search and rescue efforts, trying to make sure that we have looked under every single piece of debris in every single building and along the roads and communities to find anyone that might be injured or might be lost from the storms that have hit the state of Oklahoma. I just want to say how much I appreciate all the first responders, the law enforcement entities, the fire, the police, the Red Cross, Salvation Army, the Highway Patrol. We've called out the National Guard, and certainly many other emergency services throughout the state, the hospitals that are responding so well to those that have been injured in this terrible storm that has struck our state. And we're doing everything we can to get all the resources out throughout this community, and certainly we have other areas of the state that we're also dealing with right now. We will bear no resource. We'll bring every single resource out that we can. We've had offers from other governors across the nation. I've even had a phone call from President Obama, who sends his prayers for the state. Has also offered to do anything that he can to speed up our federal assistance and any type of red tape that might be in our way, and offer resources too. We have called in extra resources from out of state for search and rescue. We have brought in rescue dogs to go through the debris itself. It will be dark pretty soon, and we want to do everything that we can to continue to look for those that might be lost in this tragedy. I want to encourage all Oklahomans that can to stay away. We have lots of law enforcement, emergency personnel that are working on the sites itself. We have tremendous traffic jams on our highways right now with I-35 and I-44 that took a direct hit with the tornado crossing those areas, and there are many side streets that are also jammed up with traffic. Communication is very hard with cell phone towers and also with down power lines throughout various areas of the state, and in particular in Moore and this vicinity too. So communication is very, very hard. So we're asking the public to be as patient as possible in letting us work through what we need to, and knowing that we're doing every single thing that we can to assist those that are in need right now and bring out the resources. I want to say thank you so very much to the media. The media has done a superb job over the last couple of days of keeping people informed about the current weather conditions, especially our weatherman and those that have been on the ground driving and following and tracking the storm itself. As I visited around Bethel Acres today, or the trailer park that lost so many homes and lost some people, and also around Kearney, Oklahoma, and Highway 177 in Shawnee, I had many people come up and say, because of the media and their rapid response and reporting on the track of the storms, that they were able to get to a storm shelter, and we saved a lot of lives because of that. But as we know today, we've had a massive tornado, a huge one, that has passed through this community. We do know there are fatalities. We don't have a number count yet. We know there are a lot of injuries. We know we've lost a tremendous amount of structures throughout this community and throughout the state. Our health department and our medical examiner are working as quick as they can to try to help families identify and try to find their loved ones. For those families who don't know the status of their loved ones, and in particular the children that were in the schools that have been hit, there is a reunification center set up at St. Andrew's Church at 119th and South Main. And our prayers are with you, and we're working as quickly as we can to try to get through the debris and to try to answer some questions about where loved ones are. We have, of course, signed a federal emergency declaration yesterday for 16 counties. Today we've added another 5 counties to that emergency declaration. It will allow us to access emergency services, coordinate with the local communities, make emergency purchases for the communities, bring in resources to help with the search and rescue and certainly with the cleanup itself. And we have been in direct contact with FEMA and talking to them about the various types of aids and assistance that we need, both for individual families, for our businesses, and the community disaster relief itself. Please know that we're working as quickly as we can. There are a tremendous amount of people that are helping. For those who aren't involved in rescue operations, please stay away from the immediate vicinity so that we can bring in the type of emergency services that we need to. And we will be continuously updating you. Tomorrow I will be taking an aerial tour with our National Guard. I did call out earlier today, early in the afternoon, when I saw the tornado hitting this area. I called out 80 of our National Guard members to come and help secure the perimeters and to also help our Highway Patrol with our traffic congestion on our highways and to secure the areas that have been affected. So we are working with our Red Cross, our Salvation Army, and many of our charities to get food and water and emergency shelters out to those that have lost their home, and certainly to help feed and hydrate those that are working at the scene with our emergency responders. So I will stop right now and I'll turn it over to our Emergency Management Director, Albert Ashwood. He set up the Operations Command Center yesterday when we were having the various tornadoes that swept through Oklahoma. They have not taken down the center. It's been up all night and certainly up all day today, and it's been a very busy time. Albert, thank you so much for your tremendous amount of work that you and your staff and the coordination. There's about 50 people that are in the command center right now working with all the various state agencies, with federal entities, local communities, and certainly with our state charities. So thank you, Albert, for your work.
I appreciate that. I'd like to echo what Governor Fallin said. Of course, when it comes to state response, our job is extremely simple. For the city of Moore, Oklahoma City, the affected jurisdictions, everything the state has to offer. That's what we're doing. We've done it through the National Guard, the Department of Public Safety. We also have looked to our federal partners with Federal Emergency Management Agency. They've been great partners over the years with a number of disasters that we've had. And we have 3 urban search and rescue teams that are moving this way at the disposal of local search and rescue if they're needed. Those will be similar to the teams that we used during the Oklahoma City bombing back in 1995. As far as recovery, as the governor said, we do anticipate receiving a federal declaration very shortly that will help individuals with their unmet needs, of course, and to help them with their immediate needs to try to find a roof over their head and a place to take their family for the short term. At this time, I want to turn it over to the real people that are at where the rubber meets the road here. That would be, the city of Moore. Steve Eddy, the city manager of Moore, please come forward.
Albert, if I could just add two more quick things. I want to just mention that I have been in touch with our President Pro Tem of our Oklahoma Senate. The Senate tomorrow will be running some legislation in the final days of the legislature to allow the state, if it needs to be able to access our state rainy day fund, our emergency fund, to help our various communities and certainly our schools that have suffered so much. But if we do need some money, we'll have some legislation that will allow us to do that. Of course, we will be receiving some federal disaster relief. We anticipate, it's quite obviously that we need it. And I also want to mention that I have been in many conversations with State Superintendent Janet Barisi, and she has given me an update on the school systems themselves and keeping track of what's going on with the various schools. I think there have been 5 that have had some sort of damage during this terrible storm.